Today is an important day in the university's calendar where we do an orientation. It's just like you've gone to somebody's house and then you have to know the do's and don'ts, what we expect of you as students, and what resources are available that you can tap into.
Permit me to say a good morning to us all, and I also want to use this opportunity to welcome all of us to UPSA, University of Professional Studies, Accra. It is with great pleasure and excitement that I stand before you today as we embark on a new academic journey together. I believe each one of you represents the promise of the future, the potential for greatness, and the embodiment of dreams waiting to be fulfilled. I believe as you step on this campus, you are not just entering the gates of the university. You are becoming a part of a vibrant and diverse community that thrives on knowledge, creativity, innovation, and the pursuit of excellence. I don't know how many of you took time to look out for the mantra for the university. And as usual, when we go to the lecture rooms, we normally will ask questions. I just want to see if we have any smart student here who might have looked for the university's mantra. If anybody is there, just raise your hand and let me see if you know the mantra for the university. Do we have anyone that knows the mantra for the university's mantra? So anytime you are going somewhere, it's important that you read a bit about the institution, especially when you are going for an interview somewhere. You need to know something about that organization that you are going to meet. But UPSA, we have our mantra as scholarship with professionalism, and we have carefully chosen this mantra. Scholarship is about the pursuit of the knowledge, and I hope when we meet you somewhere, you would not tell us that you don't understand or you don't know. But scholarship is about the pursuit of the knowledge, and professionalism is the ethical application of the knowledge. And for your information, once you enter this institution, because of this mantra, we live by this, and we make sure that anytime you are coming here, you actually demonstrate that professionalism. And as a result, you realize that on Mondays, every student in this institution, you are supposed to have that professional attire. So that's the first information that I'm giving to you now. On Mondays, you are supposed to dress the way I have dressed and even better. I wouldn't say that I'm the one that is well dressed here. But you have to dress like a professional because it's actually embedded in what we do here. So kindly take note. Those of you that have lectures on Monday, make sure that you dress very well before you enter any lecture room. So if you look at UPSA, it's actually a strong brand. I believe it is the fact that the brand is so strong that today we have lots of you here wanting to pursue your academic, over here. So the strong brand that we have, UPSA being a strong brand, it wasn't built just in one day. It took us quite a long time. And I remember so many years back when I came to UPSA, what we have here was not really here. That was somewhere in 2008. It's almost like 16 years now and counting. And we have come so far, but it took hard work. It took dedication. It took integrity to have brought the school this far. Today, it is the same thing that has attracted many, many more students to this particular institution. And to give you an idea, this year we've had lots of admissions. And if you could look around, the whole place is almost getting full. I think we have about almost 5,000 and over and still counting. That means that we are doing something right in UPSA. So you should count yourself blessed to be here because many people applied into this institution, but many people did not qualify to enter. I wouldn't say that they were rejected, but they didn't qualify. So you should thank God that you qualified and you are here to join us. But you should bear in mind that the journey ahead is bound to be challenging, transformative, and immensely rewarding. And I'm just trying to reflect on what I went through when I even had to go back to school to do my MBA after 10 years. And I was excited to go. But when I got there, I realized the journey was not easy. I have a colleague here, she's sitting right in front of me, and I'm sure she understands what I'm trying to say. But it is not an easy journey. You have to make sure that you've made up your mind to actually go on this journey to make it, not just to pass through the school. So university life is more than just attending the lectures, which you need to note. And it's also more than just carrying out your assignments, because a lot of assignments will be given to you, and then taking assessments and earning the degrees. It is a holistic experience that encompasses personal growth, the development of critical, analytical, and logical thinking skills, and the forging of long life connections. It is also not a place of just learning. It is a platform for self-discovery, exploration, and the honing of your unique talents. So basically, our programs, together with the extra curricular activities, will help to mold and shape students in holistic individuals fit for life in the society. Now, I want to encourage you, each one of you, to embrace the diversity that surrounds you. You also realize that you all came from different places, with different backgrounds, different cultures, and walks of life, bringing with them on the wealth of perspective and varied experiences. But you just need to take time to listen to your friends, because there's a lot you can learn from your friends, and appreciate the richness that this diversity adds to your education, because that is what will make you the you. It's not just about what we are going to teach you here, but about what you're also going to learn from your other colleagues that are here. But make sure that you build healthy networks that can help you to become the best version of the you. When you go to the university, there are so many things around you, so many people with different mindsets and all that. But make sure that you get yourself involved with the right caliber of people so that you can build up who you are. Remember that you are also special and unique, and that is why you are one of the people that we chose. But as you navigate through the academic landscape, remember the challenges are an integral part of the learning process. So there will be many challenges on the journey. It looks as if the journey is going to be sweet, it's going to be nice. It's good to say, yes, I'm in UPSA, I'm in the university, I'm doing this program here and there. But believe me, there are challenges that go with this, on this particular path. And so you must stay very focused on this path so that you can achieve your goal. In as much as I've said this, I still want to say that don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear. Thousands more people have graduated from this institution and they are doing well out there. So don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. For when you are facing the adversity, that you will discover the depths of your resilience and the extent of your capabilities. So in all the mistakes that you may go through, there's something that you will also be learning. This is a great institution that we have lots of lecturers. I believe some of you never use the word lecturers because of where you are coming from, because we all came from different institutions. And I don't expect you to be mentioning things like please teacher and homework and all that. Those days are over. And so I just want you to prepare your mind. So you will now be mentioning your lectures. So we have lectures, we have academic advisors, we have mentors. In fact, the school has made great provision for all of you, so that will help shape your life. So you'll be meeting some of these ones, and they are the ones that will take you through the journey. But make sure that you give them all the respect that they need as well. Moreover, we also have lots of resources at your disposal. There are times students enter an institution, they don't even know where the library is, they don't know what to do and where to go, but there's so much around you. I guess when I'm done, there will be other directors and officers that will take you through and show you around the school. But remember, UPSA, we have come from far, and I'm sure one of the things they'll do today is to show you where we came from and how far we have gotten to. You realize that it's been a great transformation from somewhere where 15, 16 years ago, the school has really transformed. The other thing I want to say again is that make sure, just as you have come for this program on time, when it's time for lectures. You see, I didn't mention classes. I mentioned lectures. When it's time for lectures, make sure you go on time, be punctual. And also make sure you participate in the discussion. Today you failed me. I asked who knows about the mantra of the university. Nobody said anything. But be expecting questions in the class. When you enter, the first thing is that you'll be asked, do you know this, do you know this? And that one counts to your continuous assessment. So make sure that you are well prepared to attend your lectures and participate in the class discussions. Remember that success is not solely measured by the grades or accolades. Many of you are just interested in the grades. I want A, I want B. You don't want to learn, but you want to make it. But it's also not only about the grades. Make sure that you put a lot of things in you so that it would help mold you for the society. But remember also that true success lies in the relationship you build, because here you definitely build relationship. There are many people around you. It's not only about what we teach you. I remember I was advising one of my children. When she went to school, she didn't want to mingle with anyone. So she said, I don't have friends to join discussion groups. I don't have this and all that. I said, hey, you are not going anywhere by doing that. Make sure that you get yourself involved in other things and make sure that you know somebody so that you can learn together. It's so important. The university journey is not like what we have in the SHS, where you think you can sit in your room alone and learn. The discussion groups help a lot. And so make sure that you know somebody who knows something who would help you on this journey. Of course, not trying to mingle with the bad nuts, but make sure that you have the right people around you that will help you on this journey. Remember also that you have to be kind to one another, collaborate with your peers, like I said, and contribute to your community meaningfully. And above all, never forget to serve God and be a shining light to your peers. Finally, I want to express my utmost confidence in your abilities and potential. You are not just students, you are the architects of your own futures. Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and cherish the moments that make your university experience truly unforgettable. There will be a series of issue-specific presentations and all that, like I said earlier on. You just need to pay attention and then learn from what will be discussed over here. Once again, I welcome you to the University of Professional Studies, and may your time here be filled with growth, discovery, and the realization of your greatest aspirations. I wish you the very best in the journey ahead, and may God bless you and see you through this journey. Thank you very much.
I will call on Mrs. Lauren Jan, who will speak in the stead of the registrar, Dr. Koyo Inim, right, who was to speak on the expectation of UPSA, what the university expects of you. So let's welcome her with a clap.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to UPSA. The great UPSA. You couldn't have chosen a better institution. We are the best in the landscape of higher tertiary education, and you made the right decision. No matter what you're thinking today, the strict itineraries, I'm sure some of you were hoping that you could sleep till 10 a.m., but I have to wake up and be here. The reality is there will be a lot of early morning wake-ups. That we can assure you. So on that very uncomfortable note, welcome again. So this is UPSA, the institution that you wanted to come to, or the institution that you ended coming to by default. Whichever the choice is, you are here. And I would recommend that we make the best of it. My prayer and my hope is that whatever inputs that we are going to take you through at the end of 2 or 4 years, you exit the gate a better person than you came in. That is our hope. I am here to speak and give you a few roadmaps on behalf of the registrar, Dr. Koyo Enim, right? And like I said, it's a privilege to be here. He says to tell you that you are privileged to be among the few chosen students, admitted students to UPSA. And you need to put in your best effort. There are a few highlights. Like every institution, there are rules, there are regulations that we need to follow, and we recommend that you do that once you are here. The first concern, and I observed it as I walked here, is that UPSA, we work with a dress code. I think the chairperson spoke about it. We have a dress code. So when I was coming here, I saw a lot of you in slides. I saw a lot of you in inappropriate slippers and all that. You have to correct that. We want you in sandals, we want you in shoes. We are a professional institution, as we said. We offer scholarship with professionalism. And you have to exude professionalism in everything that you do. And once you are here, you are tied as though some umbilical connection with UPSA. So you project the university in whichever area, even as you go out to interact with other people, you have the UPSA brand attached to you by association. So therefore, we expect you to put up the best behavior that you can. Your nightlife, everything that you do, especially for those in the hostels. You are projecting the image of UPSA wherever, at whatever time. And please be mindful of that. We have a code of conduct. The Director of Business Development will speak about that. You should pay attention and abide by all the things in there so you don't falter, because there are sanctions if you do. And then, having talking about the dress code, we talk about attendance. Attendance to lectures, attendance to programs. You came in your numbers today, but I believe you did not come on time. We're rushing in after 10, and that wasn't too good. Some people are still walking in. You should be here to wait for your lectures. You should be in your lecture halls to wait for your lectures and not the other way around. So you have to pay attention to time, please. It's very important. Over the course of the week or somewhere next week, I believe. No, during the course of this week, we will have smaller group of orientation on departmental levels. At that orientation, you get the opportunity to ask questions, anything that you are confused about, you are not clear about, any inhibitions, doubts, you can ask, because that will be in smaller groups at your department levels. I'm sure you'll be put into groups after that, and then you get to meet your departmental officers, your faculty officers, your heads of departments, your lecturers, your deans, etc. And then also, I want to run you through the management team of the university. The university is governed by a governing council. That is the highest board and decision-making body of the university. Then the Vice-Chancellor, who is the Chief Academic and Administrative Officer of the university. You'll be here soon and you meet him in the person of Professor Abednego Oko Amate. He is the visionary and the Chief Academic and Administrative Officer of this great university. And he will always address you as my dear students, because students are very special to him and he has you at heart. He is supported by other members of the management team. We have the Pro-Vice Chancellor in the person of Professor John Kwekumen Samauto. He's also yet to come here. When he comes, you meet him. Like I mentioned earlier, the registrar, Dr. Koyo Enimwright, is engaged at the moment, but within the shortest time, I'm sure you get the opportunity to meet her also. The Director of Finance is also not in. He's also in a meeting in the person of Mr. Nicholas Nelson Ejay. We have other deans and directors whom you meet over the course of your studies. I'm sure in the not too far future into your academic journey, you get to meet all these directors. The most important, where you are concerned, is the Director of Academic Affairs, who you'll be dealing with, and his team. He has everything to do with your registration. I'm sure some of you have met him already, but anything to do with your academics, you go to the Director of Academic Affairs. There are other channels of communications that you need to follow, and it's important that you follow. The first that I'm going to advise you is that you get conversant with your student handbook. It's uploaded online. You have to access it. I'm sure you all have your phones, your smartphones that you can use to access it. What I need to tell you is that UPSA, we are going paperless. So during the course, you don't expect a lot of paperwork. We are not going to be handing you books and pamphlets. We are going to use slides and access things online for the necessary information that you need. So your student handbook will be loaded online, and I would encourage, in fact, I would advise you that you read and get conversant with every detail, because it's a guide to your academic journey. Everything that you need is in there. And I'll say that before you ask, first read, because the person you're asking might mislead you, but the handbook will tell you what to do. So it will tell you that to register a course, this is the process you need to take. It will tell you that to drop a course, this is what you need to do. It will tell you everything that you need to do. So please, there are other procedures like you want letters of attestation, introductory letters to embassies, introductory letters for the acquisition of your passports, for the opening of bank accounts. The processes are there, and you can seek and follow suit. The Student Service Unit is there to aid and guide you through all these requirements. When it comes already, I think, so you've been admitted, you have your registration, so you know what to do. Your certification will be handled by the Academic Affairs Directorate. Other requirements like requests for English proficiency, etc., will all be handled by the Academic Affairs Secretariat. So all those letters, you first address to the Director of Academic Affairs. Also regarding issues of transcripts, examinations, IES. With IES, I think you need to talk to your departments, but then with other straight academic related issues, you also see the Director of Academic Affairs. Other registration issues will be handled by your faculty. So as you break into smaller groups, I believe they will advise you as to what we'll do. So without much ado, and on those notes, I'll take my leave, and the other officers would follow.
Thank you very much. Let's do it again for Madam Lauren Jan, who is the Director of Administration. Thank you very much, Lauren. The student handbook. I tell students that when you read a chapter of the Bible, read a paragraph of the handbook daily, because it will help you in your journey. So as she said, you are not going around asking other people, what did they say or what is the expectation on this rule? Read it for yourself, and it will help you. Thank you very much. Navigating academics in this university. There's one person you need to be friends with, and he's the person walking up. He won't even wait for me to introduce him. Mr. Tony Afezi, my very good friend, and please listen aptly to what he says. Not that don't listen to the other people, but he's going to give you an abridged version of what is in the handbook and other things. So let's welcome Mr. Anthony Afezi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on your admission to UPSA. I hope you are all happy. Okay. So I'll start off by asking a very simple question. Who is a student of UPSA? It sounds interesting, right? Okay, so as being a student of UPSA, one must first apply for be admitted and follow an approved program of study over the accepted period and satisfy the following conditions. Okay, so who is here who hasn't gotten an admission letter? It's very, very important. Are you here without admission letter? Okay. Now, so let's look at the conditions. As a student of UPSA, proof of regular enrollment. So at the beginning of every semester, you are supposed to register. As a fresher, you have done one registration already. I will take you through the registration process. So as a fresher, you have made payment. You have gone on our system, we call it USIS. You have done your online registration. You came to campus to finish the registration, and you were issued with a proof of registration that is labeled verified. Now, so if you are pursuing a 4-year program, so BSc in accounting, you have been admitted to level 100. You are going to register for how many times? 8 times. You are going to register for 8 times. So one round of registration is gone. You are left with 7 more to do. And you have to do this at the beginning of every semester. Attendance of lectures and tutorials. Students are required to attend all lectures, tutorials, practical sessions specified for their course of study. Every student shall be required to sign an attendance sheet at a lecture. So as Director of Admin has indicated, we are going paperless. So the signing of the attendance register, you have to use the QR code. So QR codes will be positioned at the entrances of all the lecture halls. So you need to have your smartphone before you enter. You scan the QR code, like when you are doing the registration, to be able to get onto a group which will remain the group you belong to throughout your studies. There was a QR code at the registration center which you scanned. And so you are going to do the same for lectures. So attendance of lectures is compulsory, and failure to do so can attract a penalty. And if you do that you absent yourself from lectures for continuously for 21 days, you are deemed to have been taken out of the program. It's like you have abandoned the program, so you are asked to withdraw from the program. Students are expected to attend lectures and write examination at any time as deemed by the academic board. The academic year and structure of semester. So every academic year comprises of 2 semesters. Each semester lasts for a maximum of 16 weeks. And students are assessed on the basis of their work in various course studies at the end of the semester. Now, I need to sound this caution. Once you enroll on a particular program, you cannot change the program. If you have registered for BSc in actuarial science, that is the program you follow till you get to the end, you cannot in your mind, or you cannot just decide that, well, I'm doing actuarial science, then let me switch to another program. You can't do that. Duration of program of study. So we have minimum and maximum duration of your program of study. So BSc admin, you've been admitted to level 100, so it's a 4-year program. That is the minimum duration. Now, at the end of the 4th year, in the event that maybe due to sickness or maybe due to financial difficulties, you decide to defer, we have a grace period beyond the minimum duration. And so the university adds 2 years grace period in addition to the minimum duration. And that constitutes the maximum duration, which is 6 years. So the maximum period is inclusive of deferment, rustication, suspension, and so on and so forth. Interruption of program of study. A student may interrupt his or her program, but not for more than 4 continuous semesters. A student who interrupts his or her studies for more than 4 semesters shall be deemed to have lost all credits accumulated. Registration for examination. So registration for examination is not separate from the course registration you do at the beginning of every semester. Once you have registered, so all the registration you have done is what you will use for your end of semester examination. Okay, so registration is very, very important. If you don't register at the beginning of the semester, there is no way we will allow you to take part in the end of semester examination. This is not like a SHS, where for the entire 3 years, you don't register. At the end of the 3rd year, then your headmaster gets the assistant headmaster for academics to register you for WAEC examination. Here, you register at the beginning of every semester. It is very, very important. And payment alone is not sufficient. So we have necessary condition and sufficient condition. So you pay at the bank, you don't keep the receipt, you go on Interpay, you disburse, and you go on the system and register your course. So the subsequent registration, you don't need to come to campus. You can be in the comfort of your hostel and do the online registration. You print out a proof of registration and you present a copy to your department and keep a copy. So you have on the screen a sample of proof of registration. Mr. Clifford, if you could project a sample of proof of registration, which I believe all of you may have by now. If you don't have a proof of registration like this, duly verified, it means there is something wrong with your registration. Now, you are not done with registration yet. You are left with medicals to go. Every student is expected to go through medical examination. So my colleague, Director of Medical Services, is here. I believe he will talk to you about that. So you need to go through a compulsory medical examination, after which you will be issued with a university ID card. So the university ID card acquisition is linked to you completing your medical exam successfully. Examination. At the end of teaching and learning, there must be an assessment. So you are here to learn. So you go through lectures for 12 weeks. At the end of the 12 weeks, you are supposed to be assessed. Now, even before we get to the actual examination, we have two types of examination. That is formative and summative. The formative assessment is made up of the IAs, quizzes, presentations, seminars, and what have you, constitutes 40% of the total mark, which is 100%. So at the end of the semester, you will have to justify yourself for the remaining 60%, which is the end of semester examination. And the pass mark for the summative and the formative assessment put together is 50%. So 50%, 50 over 100. Grading system. So when you write the exam, you are marked. We put both the CA and the end of semester scores together. We grade you. So the grading system ranges from A to F. So between 80 and 100 is grade A, B plus is 70 to 79, and so on and so forth. F is a fail grade. D is also, we call it a concessionary pass, but it is not something you should aspire to obtain. Then if you absent yourself from the university examination, you are awarded grade X. If you indulge in exam malpractice, you are awarded grade Z. If you take the end of semester examination without your continuous assessment, you are awarded IC. Now, over here, we don't entertain wrongdoing in the examination hall. So we have examination related offenses and penalties. So you are not supposed to copy from prepared materials, no impersonation. You don't communicate in the examination hall. You don't beat anybody in the course of the university examination. If you do that, you are on your way home. Either the students or the invigilator, you cannot do that. Even beyond the examination hall, in the university, you don't fight. You can argue, healthy discourse, but you cannot beat anybody. We don't do that here. It's a very dangerous thing to do. This is a civilized system. This is a civilized environment, so we don't fight here. Don't go and hire miscreants from town to come and attack anybody on the university campus or in your hostel. It is not allowed. If you do that, first of all, you'll be dismissed, and we'll get the law enforcement authorities to take care of the criminal aspects, because beating somebody is an assault and it's a criminal offense. Please, don't try it. Okay, so there is, as Director of Admin has said, the examination offenses are so many. You go to the website, download the handbook, and you familiarize yourself with all of them. Now, the order of the day is bad dressing. Most of you are fan of dressing in a certain way. The guys wearing earring, tweaking their hair and all that. Such things are not allowed here. especially if it's time for exam and you come improperly dressed, you can be turned away. Probation and withdrawal from the university. So, at the end of your first semester, there's something we call grade point average. So, if, let's say in the semester, you have scored A, 5. Each A has a grade point of 4. So the 4 multiplied by the credit hours. So each course, let's assume, is a 3 credit hour course. So 4 times 3 times 5 divided by the total credit hours, which is 15, will give you your grade point. So if at the end of the first semester, you had below 1.0, you are automatically put on probation. If at the end of the academic year, you don't get beyond 1.0, you are a candidate for withdrawal. So you better watch out. Dismissal from the university. The university has the right to dismiss any student whose conduct is found to be contrary to the rules and regulations of the university. A student who misconducts himself or herself will appear before a disciplinary committee, which will recommend the appropriate sanction against the student. So, if it is exam malpractice or an examination offense, once you are caught, we'll bring you before a disciplinary committee. You go through the process and we'll apply the necessary sanctions. If it is non-examination offense, the same thing goes. And at the end of the day, if you are found guilty, you are on your way out. So you need to observe all the rules and regulations of the university. Make sure you are here to study and nothing else. Do not engage in any conduct that will attract a dismissal. So take good care of yourself. The handbook is on the website. I want to emphasize. I cannot tell you everything that is in the handbook. So just download the handbook, read each page of the handbook, and familiarize yourself with the rules and regulations of the university. Thank you very much for your attention. Let's not forget, the Academic Affairs Directorate is located at Siedu Mustafa Wing, the ground floor and the last floor. So if you have any issues, you can come and visit us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Antonio Fezi. I believe you heard everything he said. You are here to learn, and so we should focus on that. Register every semester. Don't take it for granted that you've done the main registration and so. And so you are here to learn. You saw the grading system. Work so hard that you stay away from the grade D's to the Z's. Make your parents proud by focusing on the reason why you came. Thank you very much, Mr. Fezi. We would like to call on our Vice Chancellor, Professor Abednego Amati, who will welcome us officially. So let's welcome him.
Good morning. Hey, I can forgive you. You are not yet students. Good morning. Maybe we should try it one more time. UPSA, when we greet, we respond. That's the first standard of being a professional student. Good morning. Welcome to UPSA, University of Professional Studies, Accra. I can see thousands of you here, and I think that I should say congratulations is in order, because out of the thousands of applications that we had, you are the fortunate ones that have been admitted. So I think that you deserve a round of applause for yourselves. And it was intentional to say, applaud yourself first, because as I entered, the Director of Academic Affairs took you through the grading system and all of that. And I think that you are going to have an interesting time at UPSA for the next 4 years. Believe me, the journey is going to be interesting. You are very young, so I'm not sure you watch Osofodazi. I'm not too sure. These days, you watch things on Netflix, and things that are not supposed to be seen, you see them. In our days, there's only one television at home for everybody, so you all gather around it. And Sunday evenings, they show the TV drama Osofodazi. Now, before they begin the movie, the drama, they would always sing a song by Osibisa. There's always a line in that song that I think should be our watchword. The title of the song is "We Are Going." Heaven knows that we are going. Somewhere in that song, it says that it's going to be rough and muddy, but we will surely get there. It is not a threat. It's a firm promise that sometimes at UPSA, it can get rough and muddy with academic work. But the assurance is that you will surely get there if you focus. This is UPSA, obviously. And I'm sure, of course, you heard about us before you got here. They will take you through all the things that you need to know. And we began with academic work and all of that. I want to plead with you. I sincerely want to plead with you. The primary reason for being here is that you are here to study. And in the process, we will groom you to be the gentleman or the lady you are supposed to be, which is why we are a professional university. So whilst you study, we are also concerned about your appearance, number one, the way you dress. Attires meant for the beaches are not allowed at UPSA, which is why, and I'm sure you have been told, or you'll be told, that on Mondays, we call it the Professional Monday. That means that you dress officially, in the formal dress. You can see a lot of your directors and deans, like Director of Business Development. Please, can you stand? And time for them to see. Okay, so it's normal to appear like this on a Monday in the lecture hall. At the barest minimum, you will be in your shirt, well ironed, and your trousers, no jeans, tucked in with your belt, and the ladies are supposed to be in a very formal dress. That is what we call the Professional Mondays. In fact, gentlemen, you are allowed to put on flying tie. And for those that you don't even know how to knot a tie, just go on YouTube. It's easy these days. And you can learn to do that. It's as simple as that. In our days, our big brothers will teach us in the boarding house. In your case, YouTube, that's the job. but whatever it is. So if you choose not to put on the tie, please, Dina Samoa, Dr. Samoa, oh, no, sorry, Professor Samoa, if you choose not to put on the tie, please stand. You can dress like this, yes. If you choose not to put on the tie, that's the way it appears. That is a kind of, after that Monday. If you choose not to do so, let me simply say that they will not allow you to be in the lecture hall. And if we find out, there are sanctions that we apply. So it's a professional Monday, and if you go check your admission letter, it is written boldly why we do so. Because whilst we are here to study, we are also interested in your appearance. And it's for your good. If you find out from maybe your senior brothers, senior sisters who have finished school, they have gone, UPSA students are easily employed because we don't just focus on the mind, we also focus on your attitude and your behavior. So the way you appear is so important to us. It doesn't mean that Tuesday to Friday you can dress anyhow. As I told you, if you go look at our handbook, which I'm sure you'll be told where to find it on the website, it has a section on appropriate dressing. No sleeveless. I see some of you wearing sleeveless. Okay, maybe you didn't know. But that is meant for your hostel. That's meant for the beach. It's not meant for UPSA. So please, some of the dresses you have brought, saying that, oh, now I'm the university, freedom galore, and you brought all of those things, may I kindly advise you, gather them. There are dustbins around. We would help you to send it to Zoom Lion at no fee. We will not charge you for that. But please make sure that, so if you have brought all those things, please, dustbin or they go back home. You have to dress appropriately. Number 2, which is maybe more important, is your behavior on campus. You are coming from senior high school. Senior high school is regimented. You are controlled. They assume that you are boys and girls, even though a lot of you did not behave like boys and girls. But you stay in houses, house 1, house 2, house 3, house 4. Here you transition to hostels. So please, I beg you, don't come and say, I'm going to the house. You are going to the hostel. There's a difference. That's why we are not called teachers or masters. We are called lecturers. You've got to understand the difference. But in SHS, you are controlled, regimented, time to go for dining, time to sleep, and all of that. Here, suddenly, there is freedom. SHS, they ring bells that change lesson or time to eat. Here, they don't ring any bell. What that means, first thing is that the number 1 rule, cardinal rule on the university campus is that you learn to read notices. Information flow is important. So in addition to your quiet time, the next thing you have to do is always to check on the university website and the school platforms. What is the current information? Because believe me, if you don't go on the website or you come and you don't read notices, don't go to a notice board, I tell you, the university will vacate and you will not know. You would appear here and we are gone. We have seen it several times. People will not even know the time they're writing examinations because they chose not to read. Nobody will tell you anything. So everything you have to read. The idea is that because the assumption is that you are matured. SHS, they assume that you are still under 18. Here you are in the university, so you are matured. The reason why you have a lot of freedom, because the assumption is that you are matured. Now, when a person is assumed to be matured, you give the person a lot of freedom. But if that freedom is given to you and you don't use it wisely, it means you are not matured enough. So we'll take the freedom back. It's so important. So when you were a child, you were behaving like a child. Now that you are soon to be matured, you got to behave maturely, which is why you have to lead yourself, read information, read go on the notice board, what are the current information we have, and then get all of them to guide yourself is important. The freedom you have is not supposed to be taken to the extreme. And that's what I'm talking about, behavior. Just because there's no headmaster or housemaster or senior housemaster or a master to control you does not mean that you can behave anyhow. And in talking about this, there are rules that govern our behavior on campus. There are rules that govern our behavior in the various hostels, whether you are in our hostel or any other hostel. Please, so long as you are a student of UPSA, whether you are on campus or outside campus, the way you behave matters. And I want to plead with you to behave well. We do not take this lightly, especially your behavior on social media and what you use your phone to do. We have zero tolerance for your behavior on social media in a negative manner. We have zero tolerance for that. So, if you choose to take a nude picture of yourself, keep it solely on your phone. But believe me, that phone can be stolen. Believe me, it can be stolen. The internet is unforgiving. Whatever you put on the internet now will follow you for the rest of your lives. A few weeks ago, I read something about a U.S. official who is a grown-up and vying for a serious position. And they went on the internet and picked something he posted when he was a 17-year-old guy, and they used that against him. The internet is unforgiving. So be circumspect, very, very careful what you put on the internet. And when we find out, I assure you, so long as I remain the Vice Chancellor, if you misbehave on the internet, we will dismiss you. In some cases, we would hand you over to the police because the laws of Ghana itself prevents that. I'm very serious about this because the youth of today is becoming something else where you think that you can do all kinds of things and post on social media, disgrace yourself, disgrace your parents, and disgrace the university, disgrace this nation. That cannot be allowed. So please, your freedom is for use in a positive manner because you are supposed to be matured. I hope I make that point as loud as I can. We do not subscribe to bad behavior at UPSA. They can do it elsewhere, but not UPSA. Your hostels are not meant for sex. Yes, I use that deliberately. Say that it's not for sex. If you want to do something, please rush home. When you finish doing it, then you come back. Because that's why I want to go and read all the information on the use of campus facilities, hostels, and all of that. Some even had audacity, the temerity, the effrontery, that when they even had sex, they took pictures of it. That uyari. I know majority of you will behave well. The law is not made for those who obey it, it's for those who disobey. So the few ones who are tempted to do this are the ones that we are cautioning that don't start at all. Yes, fantastic. Yes, don't start. Don't try it. It will land you into trouble. Listen, there is more sleep after death. And may I caution you that you are here first year. When we were on campus, that's how many years now? Almost 40 years now, fresher like me at University of Ghana. So I'm not a young man, believe me. When you get to campus like this, there's something we call October rush, because those days, first year was October. In your case, it is what? January rush or February rush. The moment you are on campus, you think it's time to have boyfriend and girlfriend. 0.0001 of that relationship is what will work, if not 0%. Believe me, none of those things will work. Young ladies, advise yourself. Now, the medical doctor is here, handsome freshman. He's also a clinical psychologist. We have a mental health clinic here. Believe me, all the issues that go there, virtually everything is about relationship matter. That they tell you that you are the mosquito in their net. You are the Amatan Popo. When I see your eyes, then no man nanny. It is called format. Believe me, what they told you, they have told others the same thing. They have told others the same thing. Please don't end up at the mental health clinic. Some even get so worse that straight to Dr. Sari, one time. Your parents are investing so much in you. Don't disappoint them. It is in your interest to maintain your sanity. I told you there's more sleep after death. As a relationship, see, the guy you see as handsome today, in 5 years, when you are matured, you won't see him as handsome again. Things will change. The things you hold dear now, after 5 years, they will not be important to you. And let me give you an example. When we were young, we drank Fanta only Christmas or when you are sick. You have no idea. So, anytime I want to drink Fanta, we will say we are sick. But my mother's hand was a thermometer. It can measure your temperature. When she touches it, you are not sick. So, one of the cravings we had was that when I start working, I am going to buy a tin of, because a tin of milk, they use teaspoon to measure. So I said, when I start work, I am going to buy a tin of milk, pour everything to the gari. I will drink Coke every day. Years on, I can't touch Coca-Cola. Years on, I don't drink milk. Not that I cannot afford, but now my taste has what? Changed. Believe me, your taste would surely change. Place value on yourself. Not the one that you are going for lectures, then they come and tap you at the back, your butt. Then all you say is, I don't like that, oh. You've got to turn and say, don't ever try this. You see, when you take yourself serious, people will take you what? Serious. When they came, they asked, what's your name? You said John. From that day, they call you John. What that means is that what you call yourself is what people will call you. The way you treat yourself, that's the way people will treat you. If you place value on yourself, people will place value on you. And when all is said and done, after 4 years, and you are leaving this university, they will look at you and say, this person is different. And I tell you, as for university, whatever happens here will follow you. I know people who stole in the university when we were there, first year. Up to today, they hold it against them. Because university life, they don't forget. You should not be the thing that they said, oh, when she was on campus, she was very loose. Oh, we know her. We know when she caused abortion, it will follow you. You have repented, but it will still follow you. So don't get deceived. In fact, if somebody tells you are beautiful, you should say, my mother told me. Take the compliment, your mother, but don't get distracted. Hello? Don't get distracted. And to what I'm saying, some guys are not happy with me, but that's fine. In fact, and the things I'm saying, the young ladies, not that they are, from SHS, you started, you got to stop. You got to stop. There are better fishes in the sea for the future. So close your ties. Learn and pass well. And for my dear gentlemen, can I advise you? When I was a lecturer in the Department of Marketing, something I saw, and I used that to advise. A young man collected the fees from the parents, got a girl on campus. In an attempt to please the lady, used his school fees to buy, that time, iPhone 6 or whatever, to buy a phone for the lady. The way UPSA runs, if you don't pay your fees, you can't register. The guy, they were going to final year. And he hoped to win Betway so he could pay. Unfortunately, what was left, Betway also took the money. And I know a lot of you do the so-called, now, what is called gambling, now you call it Betway. Nobody becomes rich by winning lottery. Nobody. Not a single person in the world is rich because, see, they just deceive you. What they are forming your habits. I'll come to that soon. The young man then couldn't win the lottery, had used his money to buy a phone for the lady. It was time for examinations. He was standing outside. A young lady entered to write the exams, and the young lady was saying, bye-bye. The young lady finished, and when she finished, then she said, I cannot go out with my junior. She's gone. What she has left you with is called BH, broken heart. You can cry, jump, whatever, but sorry to say, they have used you. The little money that you have, please use it on yourself. Believe me, when you get to the top, you will not have a problem in choosing the right one. Believe me, when you get to the top. So, with your one trousers and your one shirt, focus on your studies. Very soon, your wardrobe will be full. Very soon, you drive the best of cars. Very soon, you'll be a responsible person. Your head is now on your shoulder. Then you can think well. For now, you are looking at bone straight. That is not the one to use to make a choice. You are looking at the contours, backside and bobby stand. We don't use that to make choices. Hello? Now the ladies are not happy with me. Because somebody has promised you a phone, and you think that what I'm saying would prevent you from buying the phone. Yes, young man, don't buy that phone. It's a trap. Don't fall into it. Do you understand? And the habit forming. Listen, a lot of you, first I thought it was only the guys, but having been here long enough, some girls even smoke. They don't just smoke, they smoke weed. Well, thankfully, UPSA, we have kept that thing seriously. If we pass by the corridor, we know the smell of ganja. I know it, even though I haven't smoked before. We just know it. We'll investigate. We'll smoke. The way you smoke, we'll smoke you out. Please, the smoking you did at the secondary school, let that one be the last one. But more importantly, you are forming a habit. Don't start what you cannot stop. Some of you do drink. Do you realize that, see, as a marketing lecturer, the trick of alcoholic beverages is that you are forming your taste buds. So this is the time to arrest you. The motto is catch them young and they shall be yours forever. When you develop the taste for alcohol now, it is more difficult to stop. Listen, nobody starts drinking after the age of 30. It is when you are 16, 17, 18, 19, that they let you form those habits. So when you think you're having fun, they are arresting your heart. Stop it now, then in future, there will be no desire for alcohol. There will be no desire for smoking. I know people that they spent years trying to stop smoking. Ask each of them, when did they start? It's always when they were young. This is the time to be disciplined. I will not smoke, I will not drink. When you do that, you are free forever. When you finish university, that will not be your problem. So what you think is fun, they are putting you in bondage. Strong bondage that is difficult to come out. If you doubt it, look at your uncles. Some of us, our parents. They become alcoholic. They didn't start when they were old. They started when they were like you. So whilst life is ahead of you, this is the time to be on the narrow path. Define your personal boundaries. I said, when you are matured, nobody controls you. So define the boundaries. I go here, I don't go there. And some of you too, this is the time that you want to have friends. It's good to have friends. You must have friends. Very important, because in fact, the reason why we come to school like this in person, so that we relate to others. Otherwise, it will be distance learning. So it's good to have friends, but choose your friends wisely. I'm sure you know the old saying, show me your friend and I'll show you your character. You want to keep up the Joneses. You want to be like, you are coming from my hometown, La. You want to mingle with those from Trasaco. There's nothing wrong with learning from them. But they can buy bone straight. They can take their father's car. As for you, you are like me. One shirt, one trousers, wash and wear. Keep to the standard. That is what you have. In fact, when we were in school, even some people live at Anumble. You know Anumble? Anumble. There's nothing wrong with Anumble, but it's a village after Achimota. Where do you live? I live at Achimota. I live at West Legon. People live at Circle. Where do you live? Oh, I live at Roman Ridge. They want to impress. If I live at La, I live at La. That is where my parents live. I don't have to impress anybody. I don't have to go and tell your parents that they said you should buy this when nobody has said buy anything and take monies. Okay. Just see, there's something known as the KISS principle, K-I, and I don't mean what you are thinking. The K-I-S-S. Keep it simple and short. Keep your life simple and short. Good to have friends. Learn from your friends, but don't try to be what you are not. Always think about the future, where you are going. And whilst I talk about friendship, friends, I encourage you to participate in the activities of the department. I'm sure they will meet you, the various departments. You participate in SRC and all of that. They organize a lot of interesting social programs. Not the night ones, not the nocturnal ones. So when they have seminars, participate. And I'll tell you why. It will improve upon your life. Life is not just what you learn academically. The social capital you gain, emotional intelligence, these things are important. So for example, when they say we are going for departmental dinner, it's important to attend. Because I know that some of you don't even know how to use fork and knife. You have never used them before. Where you are coming from, you stand and you eat. In school, you will learn that we sit down, the fork is on the left, the knife is on the right. If you don't even know how to use it, when you go for that student dinner and you are not sure, when they say it is time to eat, pretend like you are praying. Open your eyes and watch the next person. This is the way we do it. The idea is that school would help us to improve upon ourselves. So you want to learn from your friends. In fact, education is a leveler. People come from good homes, bad homes, rich background, poor background, but we pick the best from each other and leave out our bad traits. That's the essence of education. So don't pick the bad ones, pick the good ones. Learn from your friends. I give you the advice that the Vice Chancellor, University of Ghana, Akila Kwasawa gave us in 1989, first year. He said, as you enter this university, make sure you enjoy all the facilities of the university, including going to Volta. And for those who don't know, Volta Hall was the only female hall then. And because it's called Volta, when the guys are going there, they say, we are going to swim. There are big fishes there. But there's a timeline. By 10 p.m., you cannot be in Volta Hall. What it meant was that exposure in a very legal way. Know every place on campus. Know where ISTD is. So when they say ISTD, if you don't know, find out what's the meaning of ISTD. Know where academic affairs is. Know where the lecture halls are. Know where research is. Know where administration is. And for even those in Accra, do you know some people, this is the first time of stepping into Medina here. Know the geography of this place. Somebody finished level 400. He didn't know American House. And when I asked him, he said, I was being a good behavior. That's not good behavior. Some people have come all the way. They will not know where University of Ghana is. Please, you've got to know the geography of the area. It's called exposure. If you go for interview, one of the things that they measure is your exposure. So know where University of Ghana is, know where Trinity College is. You have come to Accra for the first time. May we organize an excursion to go to the beach to see how the sea is like. Whatever it is, know the places. Not that you're going to do anything bad, but you just know the area. It is so important. And first years, let me advise you. When I meet you on campus and I ask you, where are you going? And you tell me that you have lectures. And I say, what do you have? And you say, you have French. And I ask you, what's the name? Don't tell me that it's called Mesue. In other words, you must know your lecturers. For every course, you must know the person's name. I'm tired of students finishing school or being on a certain level, and they cannot tell their lecturers' names. They don't know their HOD. They don't know their dean. They don't know the lecturer's name. If you ask them, oh, so who taught you French? Oh, that fair man, he's short with bushy hair. I might want to go and look for him. We'll be there. Charlie. We'll be in the common room. A student will come. I'm looking for my marketing lecturer. I said, what's his name? I don't know. How I say, I said, okay, look under the bed. Look under the chair. He's there. Because every lecturer has a name. A person teaches for 4 months, and you say you cannot tell the person's name. If you come for an interview, and I'm on the panel, and ask you don't know, straight away, you lose the job. In fact, you must know all those who taught you in SHS, even primary school, not least those who taught you in the university. You must know each person's name. Do you know that a lot of people, if you are here, you have applied to come to UPSA, they don't know the Vice Chancellor's name. They don't know the Vice Chancellor, they don't know the Pro Vice Chancellor. In fact, they don't even know what we mean by a pro-vice chancellor. They don't know who a chancellor is. They don't know who a chairman of council. These are the things that will take you to the future, not S is equal to S plus Y is equal to Z. Those who make it are the ones that they have that emotional intelligence, that social intelligence, that have exposure. So you can make first class because you know accounting, but you won't succeed because you are not exposed. You must know the structure of the university. That's who is a chancellor, who is a chairman of council, who is a vice chancellor, who is a pro-vice chancellor. Know all of this. That's the first assignment I give to you. And when you do that, you succeed in life. And maybe finally, maybe because of my orientation, but whatever you perceive God to be, it will do you good to worship your Creator. It will do you a lot of good. The race is not for the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Time and chance, they happen to them all. I know you have big plans, big future. Oh, when I finish, I'll finish my law, I'll finish my marketing, my PR, my actuarial science, my business economics, accounting, finance. You have an idea. When I finish, I'll get a job at one of the financial institutions. 2 years, I will marry. I'll buy a big car. 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl. You are determining they are as if you are God, gender. And I said 1 boy, 1 girl, because as far as I know, it's only male and female created them. I don't know about any other gender. They are always male and what? Female. Don't come and tell me that now you are changing your sex. When you do that, straight to Pantine. That's where you belong. So, you have these beautiful plans for yourself. But what you have not factored, there is always a God factor. We have attended funerals of young people at UPSA. They had good plans. There was one case where the guy finished, had his graduation. He said, we are going to enjoy. They took a car. On the way, they had an accident. After all the certificates, good class, he didn't factor that into it. We have had young people. There is one that I've referred to S House just yesterday about one of our dear students who had some, in fact, the disease they are mentioning have some beautiful names. I don't know what it is. I said, I'll ask the author. That they said he has to go off school for so many years and they are appealing for funds. And I said, S House will see what can be done to help. But when he was coming to school first year, he had great plans. I know a family friend, beautiful, brilliant girl, medical school, first year. By the time first year ended, she had gone blind. She's still at home now, learning to use the Braille. Future appears to be stunted. What am I saying? There is always the factor that we cannot account for, and that is the God factor. It is He that showeth mercy. It is He that showeth mercy. I want to appeal to you that whatever you do, don't leave God out. At least if I give that advice, because I've been there, I was young, now I am almost old, I can give you that advice that serving God, going to church is necessary to get to your future. If you forget anything I said, don't forget that young as you are, it is good to know God in the days of your youth. We put money in the bank so that when we need it, we go for it. When we serve God, it's an investment in the bank. In future, God will give it back to you in the form of good marriage, good employment, good health, long life, and a happy family. I think if you take that advice, it will serve you well. I wish you well. Enjoy your stay at UPSA. Have a fantastic 4 years. And I sincerely pray for you. And we have a chaplain here who prays for you always. I'm sure you engage him, that I pray for you that none of you will die before your time. That all of you will finish and you will have your graduation in this beautiful auditorium. I pray that everything will go well. And if the road is muddy and rough, always remember, you will surely get there. You may fail some IA, you may trail in one paper or two, but whatever it is, when it is rough and muddy, know that you will surely get there. I wish you well and bless you.
Thank you very much, Prof. This is fatherly advice. I don't need to add anything. I think we were all yes, and we heard. Keep it simple and short. Focus, you know why you came here, so focus. Exposure. Expose yourself to the environment, to your lectures, the resources that are available to you. Don't just be cooked in here and just focus on lectures. Know the environment. Thank you very much, Prof. We are sincerely grateful. I would like to acknowledge the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor John Mensah-Malto. Kindly stand so we'll recognize you when you see him. Thank you. There are a few things I will introduce in the course of the program. Thank you, VC. I would also like to acknowledge the SRC executive who are here. They will have the opportunity to introduce themselves. And then we also acknowledge our students who are from the military. Give us a wave and we welcome you also. In this university, we are all about the holistic education, and so we are interested in your health. And so I would like to welcome Dr. Isaac Newman to walk us through what it is that he offers at the clinic. Let's welcome him.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Arthur, and I'm in charge of the school clinic. Please go ahead. We have a very, very good facility. I can say it's better than a lot of the other places. And we will take care of your health from now. And thankfully, you have paid for it already. So if you don't come to the clinic, the money is ours. So whatever happens with you at the clinic is for free because you've paid for it. Please, can you go ahead with the slide? Yeah, so all of us have different stories when it comes to our health. And also what is happening to us now. You have a current health status. And again, too, all of us have a certain dream as to what our future should look like. Please go ahead. And that represents our past, present, and future. And know that all these three states influence what happens to you with your life. Because you are a whole being. You are a whole being. So whilst you see that you have a name, you've dressed nicely, but behind that picture is either, please go back, it's either a damaged person or a depraved person or a developed person. And so behind that dress, sometimes you go for weddings and you see, the two of them. Maybe the gentleman is a nice suit, right? And that is what you see. But it's either a damaged person in suit or a depraved person in suit, or a developed person in suit. And all of us were defined by our past, present, and future. When it comes to your health, I'm sure some of you have gone through all kinds of things. There is a lady who had an accident about some years back and has a fracture of the pelvis, and the bones didn't fuse well. And she's in consistent pain. She can't climb the stairs, and she has to study. Some of you during your menses, it's very, very terrible. And imagine you having menstrual pain and you have to write an exam. It's difficult. So all of us have that. But whatever it is, you need to stay healthy as a person to be able to study, to do whatever you have to do. Otherwise, things become very, very difficult. Please go ahead. So please go ahead. So all of us develop. Right from childhood, we are growing. And that growth is in 4 levels. Please click. It's in physical, mental, social, and spiritual. So physically, you're growing. We see you grow in weight and height. But whilst you're growing physically, mentally too, you're growing. Socially, you're growing, and spiritually, you're growing. If there is a problem in any of those growth areas, you cannot perform well. So there are 2 terms we use, absenteeism and presenteeism. See, absenteeism means that you didn't come to class. Presenteeism means that we saw your body in class, but you are not there. Right? And most of the time when you're unwell, it affects your performance, your functioning. Right? So we're growing. Physically, we see you grow, but mentally too, you're growing. Right? Physically, you're growing. Socially, you're growing. And spiritually, you're growing. And so for physical health issues, most of them have genetic basis. So someone has hypertension or diabetes or something because, they have the gene for it. So some of you may have some health problems, and it's not your fault. Your parents had it, they transferred it to you. Or growing up, something happened to your genes and you develop some illness. Then again, to nutritional problems. Food-related issues can create all kinds of physical health problems. Then if you get sick a lot, diseases, upper respiratory infections, all kinds of things, it can affect you, then lifestyle. I'm very, very happy that the Vice Chancellor talked about alcohol. When you look at the statistics, you realize that alcohol-related problems with, generally, you find it more in men because men drink more. But unfortunately, the girls are catching up. See, now you have a lot more girls drinking and smoking, shisha and those things. And that is adding to the problems. When it comes to mental health, social issues, and also spiritual issues, genes also is there. There are people who have a genetic risk for some mental health problems. So if your parents had some depressive problems, you're likely to have that, panic attacks and all that. Then again, to every single information that you are feeding on is determining your mental state. So if you think that the world is unfair, you think that the future would amount to nothing, you have a certain negative approach to life, it's going to affect everything around you. If growing up, you have always been compared with your siblings, you have a very, very poor self-image. If everything you hear at home is negative, there is no money, look at your head, you are not good enough. All those things are influencing your mental well-being. Every little experience, abuse, whatever, kids who are not playing, they are not growing, right? And all those things, it's affecting your mental well-being. And so adults are a reflection of their childhood. So everything you've been through from childhood has determined a particular person. And that person has to cope with life and the difficulties of the university, work. And so if things are not going on with you as a person, it affects your academics. So there are some students who don't perform well because physically they are unwell. Mentally, things are not going on too well. And some of you even are suicidal and you wish, you wouldn't even have to live to see the next day. All those things would affect your life. I remember way back when I was in the university, I was suicidal at some point. And I was walking around BAM Library. There's a roundabout at BAM Library. And I felt I needed to die. But I don't want to die again because life is good. See, so you may have everything, you may be very, very academically okay, but you may go through some challenges that affect your health, and that would affect you. Please go ahead. So on campus, there are opportunities and there are challenges. Please go ahead. Freedom, friendships, failure. Some of you may fail and you may think you may not be able to move on. I know a lady who had to defer her course again because of some mental health problems, And so there are opportunities and challenges, and these things can affect your health significantly. Please go ahead. So some of the physical health issues, we have chronic illnesses like sickle cell disease, asthma, bone pain, peptic ulcer problems. And for people like that, they will keep coming to the hospital when they're unwell. We have infections like malaria, respiratory infections, and urine infections. And most of them is because of hygiene-related problems. And for some of you, you may be very neat, but your roommate may not be too neat. And that can affect you. And again, to female-related issues like vaginal infections, sexually transmitted infections. And trust me, there are people with all kinds of infections on campus. The person may be in suit, yet what they are dealing with down there may not be too okay, right? So sexually transmitted infections are very, very, very significant on campus. Painful menses, abnormal uterine bleeding, especially with contraceptions. Now what is in vogue is that people do a lot of emergency pills, right? And generally, you're not supposed to use emergency pills all the time. So some of you go use emergency pills, then you come and you're bleeding. And that is very, very important on campus, emergency pills. And some of you may know all the names. But know that the more you use these pills, the more it affects your fertility and all that. Then pregnancy and abortion-related issues. We would have to deal with some people who go and take all kinds of medications and they come and they are bleeding. And it's abortion. Right? You don't have to go through all that if you take care of yourself. Then mental health issues like stress, anxiety, depression, suicide-related problems, identity problems, addictions to alcohol, to sex-related addiction, pornography, masturbation, and all that. Very, very significant. Then social issues, relationships. If you are 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, usually you shouldn't be dating. Because if they break your heart during exam week, you will not pass, you see. You won't pass. It will be very, very difficult to pass. But at this stage of your life, make friends and don't make commitments with relationships, because that can give you a lot of problems. Financial issues, social media problems, and sometimes people's traditions and stuff can pose as a problem. And when it comes to spirituality issues, your belief systems, worldviews, and all that can affect you, and religious activities. On campus, be in some religious group, but multiple groups will not help you. So it's better you stay committed to one. For example, you're a Christian, stay committed to one Christian group, be active there. But multiple Christian groups or multiple groups, you can't pass. Studies will be very, very difficult for you. So stay committed to one place and do well at that place so that you don't have a lot of problems with your time. So at the clinic, we offer holistic service. What it means is that physical health issues, will deal with it. Mental health issues, will deal with it. When it comes to social health problems, we'll deal with it. Spirituality issues, we'll deal with it. And we liaise with a counseling unit and also the chaplaincy to deal with other problems we cannot attend to. But whatever it is that is affecting your life, you need to come to the clinic. And we have professionals there who can help. We have doctors, we have nurses, pharmacists, we have psychologists and people at the clinic who would help you with that. Then again, too, we open from Monday to Friday from 8 to 6 p.m. Then on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Very soon, we even start a 24-hour service. That is the plan. And when it comes to medical screening, every student is supposed to have a medical screening before you can get your ID card and write your exams. The reason is that if you have a lot of people in a particular environment, they come with all kinds of health problems. And those problems can be transferred to the next person if we don't know about it. Secondly, most of the things we do in screening is to find out hidden diseases that you may not even know. And there are some diseases we refer to as silent killers. Until you go through a medical screening, you may not know that those things are there. Some people come, they are young, they have hypertension, they never knew about it. And probably if you have not picked it up in the next year or two, they will have some kidney failure because of the hypertension. But during medical screening, we're able to look at all that. And based on that, we're able to institute some management to help you. And we will book you for medical screening. You receive a text or a message or WhatsApp message or something. If we book you and you don't show up, it disrupts the whole system because you're a lot. And we have to make sure that everybody goes through the screening process. To make it very orderly and make sure that we don't lose anybody, we have a list of students and we book students for a particular day. If you receive the message, you don't come, you disrupt every system. And because of that, if you don't show up when you're supposed to show up, and you show up later on, you pay a penalty of 200 cedis. Meanwhile, you have paid for the screening already. So you pay a penalty of 200 cedis, without which you cannot do your medical screening, and we can't help you. And you can't write your exams if you don't have your student ID, because you didn't do your medicals. So when you're booked, please come around so that we can be able to help. And for some reason, if you can't show up on that day, you need to alert us so that we can rebook you for another day. Some of the challenges we have is delays in students seeking help. So if you're unwell, maybe today you feel unwell, come to the clinic. Don't wait a day, 2, 3, because by the time you come, it becomes an emergency. And with that, we may struggle to help you, or things may get out of hand and we will not be able to help you. So make sure you don't delay in coming to the clinic. And again, when you come to give an excuse, maybe you couldn't write an exams, you couldn't go for lectures, and you use a health reason as the reason why you didn't come to write your exams, we are going to investigate, we will know. And when you have an exams or something and you cannot come for lectures because of a particular disease, come to the clinic first and come and complain so that we know about it and we will write the excuse. Because when you go to another facility and you bring an excuse duty, it will be very difficult for us to accept. Because over the years, students will go to other places, go concoct all kinds of excuses from those facilities, and they bring it to us. Very difficult to accept, and we actually investigate all those things. And again, if you have some medical condition that will prevent you from engaging in certain activities, let us know now so that we have the records of that. There was a student who came last week, and he's braided his hair. And you can, it's a male, braided the hair, male. And he said he has some scalp issues, and he has to keep his hair and stuff. And then he went somewhere, and the doctor said he shouldn't cut his hair. If you shouldn't cut your hair. It should be short hair, But if you go braid your hair, and because of that you can't write an exams and you come home, we can't accept that because there is no disease where the treatment is braid your hair as a man. There is no disease. So we are going to investigate that, and those reasons will not be given. Last week, someone called me and was giving medical reasons, and he says, "Do you know who I am?" You are coming to lie for medical. He says, "Do you know who I am?" I don't know, and I don't want to know, because we have to protect what we do at the clinic. So we will not encourage any of those false reports. It won't happen. So anytime you're unwell, come to the clinic first. We would evaluate you if you're unwell. Sometimes students write exams at the clinic because they're unwell. You come and there's a drip on someone, and we're encouraging the person, and the person is writing, and that will help. Okay, so that is. Then finally, we encourage self-care, good hygiene at the hostels, friendships, build healthy friendships and not toxic ones. We have people who are abused, sexually abused, physically abused. And now we realize that people are abducted on the roads. So you are coming, someone gives you a lift, and sends you somewhere, go rape you and drop you somewhere, and you have to come back. We have those cases almost every year. So you have to be careful, the people who give you a lift and all that. As much as possible, don't enter into any car where you don't know the person, because you have people around who do those things. Sometimes you are walking at night and a group of guys will gang rape you. In those areas. So be very, very careful and make sure you are walking in pairs. Then again, to lifestyle, no alcohol, no smoking will help. So finally, stay positive and don't worry about things. Because whatever it is, the future would get better. So if you're struggling today, trust me, things are going to get better. If you don't have money today, a time will come, money will not be a problem. And be patient with life, healthy networking, healthy lifestyle, and seek help early. Don't wait till it's exams. When you are depressed, you are anxious, come to the clinic and seek help early, and we are going to help you. And like the VC said, I think God helps all of us. So don't be too strong, or don't think you know too much that God is not needed in your life. When it comes to health, God also helps. Thank you very much for your time. Grateful.
Thank you very much, Dr. Atta. Seek help early, and the God factor. It goes through everything. Or seek Allah. That's where genuine help comes from. Thank you very much. I believe you will find the clinic right after the AstroTurf. It's right there. So go there. Really nice people who will help you. We have hostels and how we manage it and what we expect of you whilst you are there. I believe the VC touched on a few points, but the director who manages the hostel is here, and will talk to you about what his expectations are and what you should do whilst there. So let's welcome, living in the UPSA hostel, to talk us through is Mr. Robert Jekedako. Let's welcome him.
Good morning to everyone. Yes, as the Director for Public Affairs indicated, I'm here to give you few information regarding staying at the UPSA hostel, what you need to know and what is expected of you. I want to take this opportunity to also welcome all of you and to congratulate you on your admission into this university. UPSA has 3 hostels. The one we call Hostel A, we have another one called Hostel B, and then the third one, Amonkote Hostel, which people also call Hostel C, but the right name is Amonkote Hostel. All this hostel takes maximum of 4,568 students. The Hostel A takes about 1,336, Hostel B 1,584, and Amonkote 1,664. We have the foreign facilities at the hostel. We have 24-hour security there. We also have elevators. We have grocery shops at the hostels. We have salon shop for our ladies and barbering shops over there. We have laundry services over there. So all these facilities are there for you to access, but of course, you have to pay. Some of them you have to pay. In the rooms, we have 4-in-1 category rooms, 2-in-1, and 1-in-1. In fact, if you read our notices that we issued, you know the prices that goes with all these category of rooms that we have at the hostels. I just want to touch on few of our rules and regulations, or what we call code of conduct. We actually expect you to receive visitors at the hostel, but the visiting hours start from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it therefore means that if someone visits you, the person has to leave the hostel when it is 10 p.m. In fact, if a colleague resident student visits you in the same hostel, the person is supposed to return back to his or her room when it is 10 p.m. because we still see him or her as a visitor after the time is exhausted. All visitors are supposed to register at the Porter's Lodge. Let me just go back small. The administration of the hostel is such that we have the directorate which takes oversight responsibility of the entire hostels, that is the director and his secretariat. We also have hostel managers at each of the hostels. They have their assistants, and then we have the client service executive, what we call porters, who are also always at the front desk of the various hostels. We also have hall tutors. In fact, the 3 hostels are divided into 12, and the halls are situated in the hostels. So we have Kofi Annan Hall, Liberty Hall, Yasantua Hall, and others. So at the right time, I think you know the floors that belongs to each of these halls. And we have hall tutors attached to all these halls. The hall tutors are to advise you and also guide you on what to do and what not to do. The hostel managers are there on daily basis, and if you have any issue regarding your room or whatever, the managers are the first point of call. And mostly, you go to the Porter's Lodge to lunch or to indicate your problem. Let me touch on a few of our code of conduct. Let me come to prohibitions at the hostels. We don't allow perching. Just as the Vice Chancellor also indicated, no smoking at the hostel, no possession, peddling, and use of cigarettes and other illegal drugs, no fighting, no assault, no intake of any form of alcohol, and then no sexual intercourse. Visitors, yes, I've mentioned that one too. We are not to tamper with our fire extinguishers. No group playing of video games after 10 p.m. So you can play your games, but when it is 10 p.m., we need to disperse so that other students can have their peace and sleep. No noise making, no use of loudspeakers, no moving of TV and study room chairs, no form of trading whatsoever, no gambling, no videoing of incidents at the hostel, and circulation on social media. I think the Vice Chancellor mentioned this one. No acceptance of lift from strangers at any time. We've had incidents where just from the hostel to the main campus, which will not take you more than 10 minutes to come, especially our ladies, they will just accept lift from strange people, and it landed them being kidnapped, and a whole lot of things normally takes place after this kidnapping. Fortunately for us, they did not kill them, but of course, they did so many things to them. So we advise that don't accept lifts when you are coming to campus or when you are going this thing. No isolated walks. By that, I mean, especially at night, don't walk alone. We've had incidents, and the security director will tell you what has been happening. People will just attack you and then take your possessions, either your phone, your bag, or your laptop. So please, at night, especially when you are moving from the hostel to the Legon-Medina road, where the girls' filling station is, please don't walk alone. Make sure that you are 2, 3, and avoid night walkings, because that is when they do their things. No pasting of posters on the walls or floors. Please take note of that. It's very, very important to us. Now let me touch on permissible and non-permissible appliances. These are the ones that you are allowed to use at the hostels. Radio set, electric iron, rice cooker, laptop, tabletop fridge, television set, hot plate, microwave, kettle. These are the permissible items. The following are non-permissible appliances: deep fryer, loud stereo, musical Wi-Fi table, water heater, washing machine, air conditioner, gas cylinder, and then game consoles. For the game consoles, in a way, you can play up to 10 p.m., but please not beyond 10 p.m. so that you don't disturb other students. The rules that I've mentioned, if you go contrary to our rules, we have the accompanying punishment that goes with it. Some of the rules, when you flout them, you'll be dismissed from the hostel. Some of the rules, when you go against them, you'll be given warnings. Sometimes you'll be fined or surcharged. You may be suspended or you may be blacklisted. So please, these are but few of the things that we want you to know as resident students of the university and at the hostels. We are creating WhatsApp platforms, especially those of you who have come to the hostel. We are going to circulate all this information on those WhatsApp platforms so that you'll be abreast with the issues in order not to go contrary to the rules. On this note, I want to thank you very much and wish you a happy stay both at the hostels and in your course of study. Thank you very much. The director just drew my attention. The university has come out with a shuttle system or transportation system where students moving from the hostel to campus are offered free transportation. So as you start your lectures, you see the school buses coming around to convey you from hostels to the main campus, and sometimes from campus to the hostels. Thank you very much.
Moving swiftly to the next person to talk about the 21st century learning, the university ICT resources that are available and will be available to you. Let's welcome Mr. Bismarck Kwashi, who is the Deputy Director for Information Services and Technology at the University of Professional. Oh, welcome him. Thank you.
We all know that ICT has become a key enabler for core business of the university, more especially during the COVID. We realized that technology actually helped in the continuation of university education, especially for online teaching, quiz, assignment, and also online examination. The role of ISTD within the university is for providing technical expertise and advice on information technology to aid teaching, learning, research, and administration. We have 3 departments within ISTD. We have infrastructure, engineering, systems, policy strategy, and support. We are located in the J.J. Marty building where the law school is situated. When you climb up to the 3rd floor, you see a signage to the ISTD floor. So the first service that I would like to mention is the internet service. Within the university, we have a free internet or free Wi-Fi service for students. You don't pay anything for using this service, but we advise that you use it wisely, because if all of you are streaming at the same time, it will be difficult for others who want to do serious academic work to also have access. We have computers at the computer lab where you can go and get yourself logged in onto the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi we have on campus is called EduRoam. So when you go onto your settings and you see EduRoam as one of the Wi-Fis, you can actually access it to go on the internet. But to get yourself on there, you have to go to the computer lab to get your phone or your laptop activated. Or you can come to room 12 within the ISTD building to get yourself activated. You are allowed your phone and your laptop, no more. And please don't go and bring your friend's laptop or phones from Medina and come and activate it, because we've had cases where people from Medina have come to use the internet on campus. When you are caught, you'll be banned from using the Wi-Fi on campus. The beauty about the EduRoam is that when you go to Legon, KNUST, UCC, or most of the public universities, you'll be able to have access without going to the school to get connected. The moment you get there, automatically your device is connected to EduRoam. We also have what we call Google Workspace for Education. You have, when you are admitted, we automatically set you up on the university email system. So your email will be your index number at upsmail.edu.ag. So if your index number is 1010-2323, then your email is 1010-2323 at upsa.edu.dh. There's a default password that you use to access this email, and you are forced to change your password when you log in for the first time. I'm sure most of you have already done that. There's also what we call Google Meet. So if you're having a discussion or you're working on assignment, a group of you can use the Google Meet to interact. There's also Google Chat that you can use as Google Drive for storage. So you can store as much as you like on this drive during your duration within the university. But please use this wisely so that others can also, you don't occupy too much space for others to use the drive. There's Google Docs that works like the Microsoft Office, and then there's also Google Sheet and Google Forms that works like Excel in Google Drive. So as you see there, those are some of the tools that we have in Google Workspace for education. We have what we call Students Information Management System, in short, USIS. You use this portal for registration, results, and also requests for unofficial transcript. I believe being a first year, you have been registered, but subsequently, you have to go to the portal to do your own registration. And also, after examination, you can go and check your results and print unofficial transcript. But if you need an official transcript, you have to apply formally. There's the Hostel portal. The director, talk about the Hostel. There's a portal that you use to book rooms and also book bed. So that's the link over there. I believe those of you who are in the Hostel have already used this system. Then there is what we call Interpay. The Director of Finance may mention it, but it's one of the systems that we use within the university. And it's for disbursement of fees. After you have paid your fees at the bank, you go to this portal to disburse, either for hostel, for medicals, or levy, hall dues, and the rest. And if your ID card is missing, you can deposit money in the account, go and disburse into the replacement ID card item, and you'll be issuing a new ID card. You can also use the portal to request for official transcript, letter of introduction, or letter of attestation. And if you want to keep some money there, you can do that for future use. There's also the university website, which all of you or most of you use during application. Over there, we have important announcements. You can also have some of the links, or if not all the links, to the university, the student portals. And also, you can access the timetable for lectures and also examination over there. And you can read latest news within the university, as the Vice Chancellor indicated. So we are very serious about security of all the systems that we use. So you are responsible for ensuring the security of this system. Don't give your password, your username and password to people to go into the system, because people may have some motives that you may not know. So we encourage you to use these systems with security in mind. If you are caught abusing the system, like I mentioned, you'll be banned from using the system until further notice. So for support service, in case you have any question or any issue about the systems that we are using, you can send a WhatsApp message to 059-497-3753. This is a WhatsApp line only. We don't take calls on this line. We don't take voice calls on this line. So please send a message to this line on WhatsApp, and you'll be attended to. You can also walk in to our offices in the JJ Mate building, and you'll be attended to. We operate from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and some Saturdays, depending on the circumstance. So in summary, these are the services that we offer within the university, and these are the links that you need for the 4 years that you are going to be with us in this university. And if you have any issue that you think doesn't need you to come to the offices, please use the WhatsApp line, and don't forget that we don't accept voice call on this line. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pitsma Janhin Kwashi. If you want any clarification on any subject that has been discussed this morning, kindly raise your hand and the mic will get to you. If there are no questions, then we move on to the last presentation and we'll call it a day. A question right there.
Schools portal, we had unverified proof of registration, so we brought it. So he said they would stamp verified, and me personally, I don't have it, so I don't know if we'll be called to.
Are there any more?
I don't know about other faculties, but then IT management, we've been put into smaller groups and we raised concerns. So there was a link that was shared to enter our names and our index numbers. So I did it, and I believe other people did it. And I asked others if they have been now placed in a group. The response was no, and myself too, still no. So we want to know why.
Okay.
Verified proof of registration, is that not so? Yes, so during the registration process, we had a lot of congestion at the registration centers. So we decided that we will take your documents away from you and verify everything and give you the verified proof of registration. That has been done as we speak. So at appropriate time, you receive notification to either go to your department or to DMC room 38 or 40 in Siedu Mustafa wing to pick up your proof of registration. On the other hand, you can go on your UC's portal. Your UC's portal, as the Deputy Director of ISTD has said, you can log on now and print out your verified proof of registration, send it for endorsement and stamping. So it's there. Everybody has been verified. We took that step to minimize congestion at the registration centers. And again, on UCs, so you should be familiar with this term by now. On UCs, your UCs student portal, if for any reason you want to defer your program, you can actually go there. There is a form in there you can fill and defer, and you will get an automatic response. A letter will come that you can generate for deferment. I hope that is clear. Now, on the issue of grouping, at UPSA, we don't deal with large classes. So for business administration, for instance, we have, for the regular students, we have put you in a group of between 100 and 120. So there are 8 groups currently for business admin. So if you are a regular student doing business admin, you should belong to one of those groups. Those are the groups that will be used to do teaching and learning. So the time, you go on the timetable, the teaching timetable, you will find all the groupings. So business admin group 1, group 2, group 3. So you will pick the courses on your timetable according to the group you belong to and the lecture time allotted for that group as per the courses you are doing for the semester. I hope that is clear. So if you are here, you don't belong to any group. You don't just join any group. After here, if the link you have been given is not working, you can either go to your department to report, or you go to 110. One of my assistant registrars by name Kwame Chumesi is popularly called UPSA. His office is in the LBC, the ground floor, first room, beside the stairway. Okay, you can go there, and he'll, place you in a group appropriately, or just go and put your name in the department. We'll give you a group. We expected that in the process of scanning the QR code, you would have been allocated a group automatically, but it appears some of you did not do the right thing, so that's why you're having such a challenge. I hope that is clear. Have I answered you? Okay.
So it's important to find yourself a group. So if you haven't, particularly to you, go and see UPSA or go to your department and report, and your name will be taken, and then that will be addressed, right?
I want to add something. You should be careful the group you belong to. If you are a diploma student, don't go and join, say, diploma in management, and you mistakenly go and join business admin group 1. So you belong to diploma in management group 1, and you go and attend lectures for business admin group 1. It has happened before, several times. So it is not funny. People make such mistakes. So be careful. Make sure on your proof of registration, the courses on your proof of registration are on the timetable, the teaching timetable, and the group you belong to. Please go on the university website, www.upsa.edu.gh. You go to under academic affairs, and then you'll find the teaching timetable for level 100 students over there. We will circulate it on the official WhatsApp platforms that have been created for each group. The timetables will be circulated on those group platforms. But if you are not sure, you can just go on the university website and download your teaching timetable. It's very, very necessary. Lectures begin on Monday. Next week, Monday, we'll start lectures. So make sure you get your teaching timetable handy, and make sure you go strictly according to the time and time allotted on the teaching timetable.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Edwin Ayeno. would walk us through the 21st century learning using our learning management system. He will only speak for 8 minutes, so let's welcome him with a clap.
The first thing to learn in the 21st century is, I'm sure what most of you have done or are going through, is to do your registration. If you are sitting here and you have not submitted your documents for registration as per the requirement of your admission, you cannot be part of the 21st century learning. So that's the first requirement. The second thing is go to the university's website. You find guidelines for online learning. One, the guidelines for activation of your emails and the guideline for your online learning. That's the learning management system. So I'm mentioning the systems that we use here for 21st century learning. If you have done that, the procedure for activation is very simple. The first thing you need to have is a phone. You need a phone, not a YAM phone. You need a very smart phone. Okay, so add your phone number for the recovery of your email. The email that is given to you, your index number at upsa.edu.gh, upsamail.edu.gh is very important. That is what you use for all official communication. So don't send me emails to say you cannot reset your password. I've started seeing such emails. Nobody here resets password for students. If you use your phone and if you have activated your emails, you will be able to reset your password on any of the systems. Then we have the learning management platform that lecturers will mount their course outline, assignments, group discussions, course materials, sometimes eyes, sometimes live sessions. That is if your program forms part of that. What I mean is being on Zoom or being on Microsoft Teams for interaction with your lecturers or amongst yourself. So make sure you are on the LMS and make sure you can see all your registered courses. It is one way to confirm what courses you've registered for the semester. And take notes. I'm sure Director of Academic Affairs told you, registration is a business for every semester. Those of you I saw with your mothers and fathers doing the registration, collect your documents from them and make sure you do it yourself next semester. Okay. Protection of your personal data. The passwords to the systems, a lot of systems, it's your personal password. You must not give it to or share it with any other students, not even a staff, with nobody. They are your personal passwords. So make sure you protect them all the time. Things that will make life a bit comfortable whilst you're on campus. So make sure at least you have WhatsApp, you have sometimes, is it Telegram or Telegraph? Which one? Is it Telegram or Telegraph? You don't know it. Make sure you have these tools because immediate information from your class, etc. Each class, each group has a WhatsApp group that you communicate, that you share information, etc. Okay. Make sure you have a computer, a laptop. A laptop. If you have a laptop, it means if you're on campus, you can get free Wi-Fi. And there is a process to activate the Wi-Fi. Again, if you check the guidelines, you see how that can be done. Please don't bring a desktop to the classroom. Don't go and carry any desktop, a system unit, a monitor, and a keyboard. We don't even have place for you to power them. So make sure you have a laptop. It will make life comfortable for you whilst you are on campus. Is there anything I miss? Where is the Director of Academic Affairs? Did I miss something? Okay. Then learn how to use some tools on your own. Learn how to use word processors on your own. Because I don't remember, I'm not sure if your lecturers will still be taking print out documents. So learn how to use these tools. Instead of you spending your data on, what is it, TikTok, and the other one is what? Snapchat, and what else? What else? Instead of you wasting your data on these tools, use it to watch a video on how to do Excel. UPSA, we believe in skills, and you are to demonstrate these skills in submission of assignments, preparing your contents, and so on. I don't know if somebody spoke to you about the library. We have the electronic support unit in the library where you can also go and access electronic materials. So UPS, everything is electronic. Yes. Everything here is electronic. So learn how to use these tools. What we do not want is when you are given an assignment, you go online and ask Google or ask an AI. You can do that, but we also have software that can find where you got that information from. And that is called academic dishonesty. You can use these tools to enrich your knowledge. They are not lawyers to advocate for you. So when you are given an assignment, do your search using these tools. You are not to copy verbatim whatever information you find and submit. There are tools that can track. It will tell you, you have 80% from this website. I don't have the projection, I would have shown you samples. So make sure you use technology wisely. Make sure you abide by the rules of digital platforms. So for example, once you are online with a student, that's a colleague, in a class, it is not permitted because you can send messages across. It's not permitted for you to attack somebody, insult somebody, or make proposals, unsolicited proposals to a lady in the class. Or the other way. If you like it, don't come and tell us. We don't want to know. But if you don't like it, you have to report it that somebody is using the system to send you unsolicited information. Read your student handbook. Everything regarding examination in the student handbook, and I'm sure Director of Academic Affairs has explained that to you in detail. They also apply when you are online. I think I can end here so that I can go across the streets to buy beans and plantain or anything you can find for lunch. Thank you very much. I do not think anyone has a question. So we can end here on this note. Thank you, Director.
Once you are students of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, the Student Representative Council that represents you wants to engage you for 5 minutes, not more. So let's welcome the President and his executive as they talk to you about students' issues. Let's welcome them.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josephine Edem Vigbedo. I am the SRC Public Relations Officer. We'll keep it very brief. Not long ago, I was in your seats, and I'm hoping that just as UPSA has transformed me and given me a better outlook on life and career, you will take the plethora of opportunities available to do the same. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I believe you're all doing great. My name is Amwa Safo Kwarten, the SRC President. I want to, on behalf of the Student Representative Council, I want to welcome you to UPSA. There's a few things I want you all to understand. The SRC is the official mouthpiece of the students, and our official leadership, as in how we pass on decisions and how we guide our entire students, is through our General Assembly. Without wasting much of your time, I want the rest of the executive to officially also introduce themselves to you. And in subsequent times, with our other orientations that we need to have, we'll properly orient you about what we stand for and what the entire SRC is about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'm Umar Farouk, the SRC Vice President.
Hi everyone, my name is Emanuela Antoni. I'm the SRC General Secretary. You can locate us at the Student Center, first floor, opposite the Access Bank. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nihat Tiaka Ibrahim Oasis, and I'm the UPSA SRC Women's Commissioner. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Joycelyn Lassay, the Deputy Women's Commissioner. Thank you and welcome to UPSA.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abraham Teria, the External Affairs President. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you all for giving us the opportunity. Our doors are always open. We are SRC and so are you. Thanks and have a nice day.
Just want to remind you of something. I've started receiving requests to change your name, your date of birth, and many, many other things. That is not allowed. Simple and short. So the name on your WASI resource slip must match what is on our system. The date of birth, the same. So please stop writing to me to do such things. It is not allowed. Is that okay? Okay.
We finally come to the end.